So, on one hand, for these interventions to work, you need to connect emotionally, ever so lightly, to whatever it is that is bothering you. On the other hand, you want to avoid flooding. And flooding, that's when people get too deep into the emotions so that it floods them with emotion. So on one hand, you need to connect emotionally. On the other hand, you want to avoid flooding. Now, to avoid emotional flooding, there is a simple technique for that. When a person is going into their emotion and you sense that they're going a little bit too far, then what you can do is simply ask them to count backwards in steps of 3 from 27 out loud. You can ask them to spell their name backwards. Because to do that, they have to engage the cognitive parts of the brain that can visualize and that can do math. So that's really simple ways. And you can just ask them to open their eyes and remind them of their name and the date so that they're here and now instead of in whatever memory that was. So on one hand, connect emotionally for this to work. On the other hand, just avoid flooding emotions. So, on one hand, you need to dare to intervene. You need to step outside your comfort zone at some point and help somebody, even though you might not be convinced that you're there yet. And on the other hand, you need to honor safety, your safety and the safety of that person and other people around you. So it's about judgment. There's no simple rule of thumb saying that some people are more qualified than others, because who knows who's the most qualified in this very moment. Sometimes there's no other person than you there. So on one hand, you have to dare to intervene. On the other hand, honor safety.